everyone, it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. We have a lot of juicy royal tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. Well, happy belated third wedding anniversary to Princess Beatrice and her husband Edoardo Mapali Mazzi. Now, they are an adorable couple. I've really enjoyed watching them over the past 3 years. It seems like yesterday that they were married, and I really did enjoy their wedding. It was very small. It was very private. It was a COVID wedding, but I believe that Beatrice was very, very fortunate that she was able to have her grandmother and her grandfather at her wedding. Now, for Beatrice's wedding, she wore a dress straight out of her grandmother's closet and the Queen Mary fringe tiara, and I thought she looked absolutely beautiful. And her husband, I definitely believe she has won the lotto of the royal husbands, but apparently he is also a romantic. He took to his Instagram to gush over his wife on their 3-year anniversary. So Eduardo took to his Instagram and he said, "Happy wedding anniversary to the most beautiful wife in the world. I am so grateful for every moment we have shared, every challenge we have overcome, and every dream we have pursued together. I love you more than words can say, and I can't wait to celebrate many more anniversaries with you." How awesome and beautiful is that post to his wife? I like them. They seem very unpretentious, and I really do hope that we will have another royal baby very, very soon. Their daughter Sienna will turn 2 very shortly. So a happy 3-year wedding anniversary to the happy couple. Well, I want to wish Her Majesty the Queen a very happy belated 76th birthday. She turned 76 on the 17th of July. Now, the Queen received a 41 gun salute, as well as being sung happy birthday by the band of the Irish Guards in London. Now, the royal family took to social media to wish her a very happy birthday. The royal family's official Instagram shared 3 pictures of the new queen grinning with the text, "Wishing Her Majesty the Queen a very happy birthday today." Now, many people took to social media to wish her a happy birthday, including the Prince and Princess of Wales, who took to their Twitter account and the royal family's main Instagram. Now, of course, it was crickets in Montecito, as Harry and Meghan never wish anyone a happy birthday. I do find it very odd how they never celebrate Father's Day, Mother's Day, anniversaries, birthdays, nothing on their website. It is always very, very silent in Montecito. I can't believe it's been a year since that beautiful portrait that Catherine took of Her Majesty the Queen. I love this photograph, but happy birthday to Camilla. I hope she had an awesome and wonderful birthday. So a special congratulations to Queen Margrethe II of Denmark for marking history this week as Denmark's longest ruling monarch. Queen Margrethe II of Denmark has made history by becoming the longest reigning monarch in her country's history. The 83-year-old has now been on Denmark's throne for more than 51 years, taking over from her ancestor Christian IV, who ruled from 1596 until his death in 1648. Now, last year, she became Europe's longest-serving monarch after the death of her cousin, Queen Elizabeth II, last September. Now, she did celebrate her golden jubilee last summer. Unfortunately, it was around the time of Her Majesty's funeral, so Queen Margrethe pared down her celebration. Margrethe II is now the world's only ruling queen. She celebrated her Danish milestone with a low-key dinner at Kolonus, the 750-year-old castle in Kolding, West Copenhagen. When her father died on January 14th in 1972, Margareta became the first Danish sovereign under the new Act of Succession. In 1953, when Marguerite was 13 years old, the Act of Succession gave women the right to succeed the throne, but only if there were no male heirs. But prior to that, her uncle was next in line. The change in law meant Margareta II was proclaimed Queen of Denmark upon her father's death. On January 15, 1972, Marguerite traveled from Almenborg into an open-top carriage to the nearby Christiansborg Palace, where she presided over her very first state council meeting as head of state. There was no coronation. Instead, her reign was proclaimed to the people of Denmark from the central balcony of Christiansborg Palace. At 31, she was officially Denmark's new monarch and queen of the Faroe Islands and Greenland. I absolutely love Queen Marguerite. She seems like a complete badass. Unfortunately for her, she chose the biggest royal arse for a husband. I think she's had a very hard time in her marriage, but she looks like she's at peace. She also has a little bit of a wacky spare of a son that she also has to deal with. But I love her. I love her quirkiness, her relationship with the Queen, and I love the fact that she is the longest ruling monarch in Europe, and she is a queen. Girl power. I love Queen Marguerite, so congratulations to her for now being the longest ruling monarch of Europe. Are Meghan Markle and Prince Harry entering their reverse Cinderella story? In my opinion, that is 100% true. Now, in a previous video, I said that Harry and Meghan were entering their flop era because everything they touch turns to crap, and that is also true. But I believe that Harry and Meghan are finally realizing they had it all. They had the entire world at their fingertips, and now the world is not so rosy. They literally gave it up for what? For Netflix, for Spotify, to write a book? I believe in their head they thought they could have more. They were going to be twice as big as they were in the royal family, twice as rich, and their life was going to be super grand. But in my opinion, they are now experiencing the reverse Cinderella story. Some royal experts have come out and even said they are like the Anna Nicole Smith story. They're entering the Anna Nicole Smith stage. If you remember, Anna Nicole Smith was this beautiful bombshell. She posed for Playboy. She was Playmate of the Year. She was a guest supermodel. She was beautiful. She was glamorous, much like Marilyn Monroe. And then she fell off the wayside by marrying that old billionaire, became a laughingstock, was on that reality show, and unfortunately came to a very tragic end. But before that, she was this glamorous, very successful supermodel. Harry and Meghan had the entire world at their fingertips. They were royalty, one of the most famous royal families of the world. Meghan Markle had a huge platform where she could have done a lot of good for a lot of people that she supposedly wants to do, which I believe is now not true, because Meghan, as we all know, is a self-serving diva, not a civil servant in a tiara. So that life of service that Harry and Meghan are always touting is a bunch of BS. They're in it for the money, pure and simple. It's all about the moolah with Harry and Meghan. So now Harry and Meghan are realizing they kind of screwed the pooch. They walked away from an incredibly wonderful, privileged life to a life of chaos and unknown. They went from the safety of the royal family to the jungle of Hollywood, where it is a very cutthroat environment. I think they're realizing that people are phony, people are fake, and when you start to get a lot of negativity, people are not going to return your phone calls. It's interesting how none of their A-lister friends are coming out Oprah, Tyler Perry, Mariah Carey, Serena Williams. Nobody is coming out in the press supporting Harry and Meghan. It has been crickets. And right now there's a huge writer's strike in Hollywood. So it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Projects are at a standstill, and Harry and Meghan had a lot of problems before the strike even happened. Now they have painted themselves into a little bit of a corner. They have a very bad reputation. Nobody wants to work with them, and those deals have dried up. It is like the Sahara Desert for Harry and Meghan. They haven't signed any big deals since 2020, and Spotify has already given them the heave-ho and let the entire world know they're lazy grifters. Don't work with them. They're not worth the money. And Netflix is hanging on by a thread. So Harry and Meghan might have some buyer's remorse. They're definitely regretting some of their life's decisions, realizing airing all of that nasty attacks and the dirty laundry against the royal family has not exactly endeared them to people. As a matter of fact, there's that reverse psychology that happens. You ever meet someone who's just nasty and they're talking bad about people, saying horrible things about people, and then you meet those people and you realize they're not that bad? And what happens? You end up not liking the person who is trashing the other people. They always say you point one finger at other people, you got four pointing back at yourself. So what happened is when they started saying bad things about the royal family, people started to also look a little bit more closely at Harry and Meghan, and that's when all of the lies and hypocrisy were exposed. So for the past 3.5 years, their fakery has finally come to an end, and people are saying, we're not buying it anymore. We don't care anymore. We don't like you. Can you just go away and shut the hell up? So now Harry and Meghan are realizing, okay, we can't keep bashing the royal family. We have to come out with something. The problem is this is the worst time to reinvent yourself because nobody wants to work with you. Your reputation is in the toilet. People don't like you. Okay? They can't stand you. Right? So as we know, Harry and Meghan are separating their brands, kind of a divide and conquer. It's not going to work, but they're trying to do the divide and conquer where Meghan is going to do her projects and Harry's going to do his projects. Well, in my opinion, I believe they're dividing a lot more than just their projects. I believe their whole marriage is divided. Harry doesn't want to be a celebrity. He doesn't want to be in the limelight. He wants to get back to his roots. So there's that rumored documentary he wants to do for Africa. He also has the Heart of Invictus. Now, whether Meghan joins him in September is yet to be seen, but we all know that is Harry's baby. That is Harry's project. That is literally the only thing he has going for him. Now, there's a rumor he might do Spare 2.0, or perhaps turn Spare into a movie, but considering the fact that the public's interest in them trashing the royal family is like a -0, if they continue on that path, it's not going to be good for them. They have painted themselves into a corner where they look like hypocrites. You trash the royal family, but then you give your children titles. You trash the royal family, but then you still use your titles for money. They haven't really established themselves as strong entities away from the royal family. So they are definitely experiencing the reverse Cinderella story, that they had the entire world and it has fallen apart. So there was a story that came out that Prince Harry sent an SOS phone call to King Charles and Prince William, begging to come back as part-time royals, that Harry is starting to panic, that the deals are starting to dry up. Well, this could be true, but I don't believe it happened. I don't think they have fallen all the way down yet. The royal family would never accept both of them back as part-time royals because you can't trust them. Once someone betrays you, you cannot forgive them and take them back in the same capacity. It is just not a good thing to do. So the royal family is really smart. They are protecting themselves. They're loving them from afar, but they could never have Harry and Meghan represent the crown in any capacity. There's too much controversy and negativity with Harry and Meghan, and quite frankly, they are such a shaky duo. Their marriage, everything about them is so toxic. Nobody wants to see them on any royal patronages doing any royal duties. I believe the only way the royal family would ever accept Harry back is if he divorced Meghan Markle, but I don't think they would put him out there, just like they haven't put Prince Andrew out there. There's too much negativity attached to them. So I don't believe that Harry actually picked up the phone and called his family. But I do believe it's coming. I do believe that SOS is going to come in about 2 years when he's finally ready to dump Meghan Markle and he wants to come home to daddy. But I think there's still a little bit of meat on that bone for Harry and Meghan, and they're going to try really, really hard to get out of the Cinderella syndrome and get back on top. But do you guys think that could actually happen? Do you see Harry and Meghan having a Hollywood win coming up in the future? Well, that's all the royal news that I have for you guys today. Do you believe that Harry picked up the phone and called his family for an SOS, or do you believe they have further to fall? And do you think Harry and Meghan are finally suffering from the reverse Cinderella story? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.